Now, the West, of course, wants to show a united front against Russia, but a controversial pipeline is now driving a wedge, particularly between the US and Germany. In the centre of these cracks in the alliance, the much-discussed Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Since its inception, Nord Stream 2 has been Europe's most divisive energy project. Worth $11 billion, the pipeline runs from western Siberia to Germany, parallel with Nord Stream 1. It connects Ust-Luga in Russia's Gulf of Finland with Greifswald in northeastern Germany. The pipeline would make Germany even more dependent on Russia for its energy supplies. Nord Stream 2 could heat over 26 million German homes, enabling Germany to act more independently on the global energy market. For years, Berlin and Moscow have maintained that Nord Stream 2 is a commercial project. But the pipeline also has geostrategic implications. It passes through the Baltic Sea, it bypasses Ukraine, depriving the country of the $2 billion it would otherwise earn in transit fees, and the US has long viewed the pipeline as a tool of Russian leverage over Europe. It was also opposed by both Ukraine and Poland, leaving Europe itself divided. But when it comes to Germany's new coalition government, there has been political infighting between the parties themselves. With the drums of war getting louder, Germany has warned of consequences. It says sanctions could hit Nord Stream 2 if Russia makes a move on Ukraine. Over the years, Europe's energy reliance on Russia has become a crucial shield for Vladimir Putin. Moscow provides almost 40% of Europe's energy needs. For Germany, that figure is over 50%. Here's a graph to show how dependent Germany is on Russia for gas. In December of last year, Russian pipeline gas was Germany's biggest supply source. For Berlin, losing these gas imports could be catastrophic. To compensate, it would require an increase in coal-fired generation at home or imports of power from its various neighbours. For Western Europe, Russia is its largest single supplier of gas. Should Russia choose to cut supplies, it could lead to absolute chaos across the continent. Energy costs would skyrocket, and millions would deal with power outages right in the middle of winter. So what options does Europe have for now? Currently, it's depending on the United States to look for alternate supplies, and the US is working overtime to shore up supplies from Qatar. This isn't the silver bullet that Europe needs right now, but emergency supplies from Qatar could provide temporary assistance. Australia too has offered to provide additional natural gas to Europe if Russia decides to cut off energy supplies. Currently, there is already an energy crunch in Europe, and any action could have ripple effects beyond the continent. A European energy crisis could roil energy markets across the globe. So Europe currently remains caught in a dilemma. It's mulling sanctions on Russia while trying to avert power outages back at home. With more now, back to our correspondent Ross Cullen in Paris.
French and German advisers are leading the talks for the Western point of view from the European Union. Emmanuel Macron has been very clear that he wants to play a leading role in diplomacy this week. He has a call scheduled with Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, tomorrow, Friday. And of course, he was hosting the talks yesterday in his presidential office and residence, even though the talks were at advisor level. But you're right that when it comes to France and Germany, they would have wanted yesterday to present a united approach, because that is something that we have heard many times before from NATO, from the United States, from the European Union, that all Western allies are aligned, they are all coordinated, they are all working together to try to deal with this threat from Russia, despite the fact that there are divisions within the alliance, particularly, as you mentioned, Germany's reliance on gas supplies coming from Russia, and the fears among some allies that there could be a weaponizing strategy by Russia if it chooses to disrupt some of those gas supplies coming to Europe. And that is why we have seen the US already start to make contingency plans to perhaps increase its flows of gas.